Human life can be like a seed growing into a tree. Infants are tended to with care and nutrients, germinating into a seedling that absorbs the water and world around it, producing fruits of labor and seeds of inspiration over their lifetime, until they decay and fertilize the next generation with what they've done. Welcome to the Newscap Gaming Classroom, where we turn video games into educational moments. Tree is a game developed and published by The Strangers in 2018. It's a free game on Steam about the life story between a boy and his tree. Gameplay is simple, with the only interaction being to hold the mouse button on the tree to make it grow, change, and collect apples. There are no saves or auto-saving in the game. It's meant to be played in one setting for 15 to 20 minutes, with time already baked in for note-taking. There are no accessibility options, but that's because there isn't really much to adjust. The only thing that may affect the game is the volume of the background music, which could be set on your own computer's general volume settings or by downloading a program like Air Trumpet to lower or increase the volume on just the game and nothing else. The game itself is from an indie developer, so it doesn't have an ESRB rating. Content-wise, it would likely fall under E for everyone, but its true message and themes around life and death may be too abstract or complex for students under 10. Therefore, E10+ would be a suitable rating for learning purposes. Analyzing the game, it intends to teach people about life and leaves multiple themes for students to remember. The game length and snapshot moments show how life can be short, filled with happy, sad, and monotonous moments. The boy's communication with the people around him show how important familial and social relationships are. When paired with the tree, it shows how life is cyclical, how one generation can nurture the next, as well as how humanity has a shared responsibility to care for nature and land. There are 3 learning objectives I found from this game, but it can branch out depending on the text you choose to pair it with. The first objective is building empathy and understanding the themes from the analysis. The second is teaching Freytag's pyramid, also known as plot diagrams. Because the game is organized in snapshots, it's easy to organize events sequentially, like a storyline. The beginning, rising action, climax, falling action, and resolution are all terms that students can learn for this part. This can help prepare them for more difficult stories down the line. The last one is using the game to scaffold understanding to more complex texts, which I'll mention later. It's simple enough for many students to get and would make reading other texts with similar themes easier. Key terms students may learn about in this game is the use of metaphor, comparing the life of people to trees. When teaching this game, you could start with a hook for students, like the riddle of the Sphinx. What walks on 4 legs in the morning, 2 in the afternoon, and 3 in the evening? The answer is the human being. You could also show the online interactive visualization by designer Maximilian Kiner, which shows his argument about how people perceive time as going faster the older they get. The visualization starts out slow as people slog out the first few years, with the final years passing away in the blink of an eye. Starting Tree, most of the learning content may be better suited for individual learning as opposed to group learning. I usually start by asking students to record every event they see in the game. They might be confused about what to call the characters. I tell them they can choose to call the unnamed main character as the protagonist or the boy. The other characters can be guessed based on the context clues, but are usually family members or loved ones. After recording all the events, students will have to plot these events into the plot diagram. This can open up discussion on what they consider the most important events in the boy's life to put in the climax, although answers may vary. Before we move on to complementary texts, if you like what I'm doing so far, I happily take likes and subscriptions. Any comments or suggestions to better teach this game can be added into my description or in a later video to reflect on. Thanks for your support. The short and sweet nature of the text made it easy to pair with another reading. Generally, any text about growing up or going through life would work. Here are some texts that can work for junior high school or upper level elementary school students. A Secret for Two by Quentin Reynolds is a short story about an old man named Pierre and his horse Joseph nearing the end of their lives. Students could do a great Venn diagram comparing the boy's relationship with the tree to that of Pierre and Joseph. Thank you to Averve on Steam for the suggestion. Songs like It Was a Very Good Year by Frank Sinatra and 7 Years by Lucas Graham are great songs that fit the vibe of the game. Students can connect the years indicated in the lyrics to that of the game and their own experiences. What kind of life goals do students want to achieve by what age? How does it differ from other students? It could be a thoughtful discussion to identify differences and similarities between each other. Parents and older role models can also be asked to share their life achievements to children so they can help craft their own life goals. To assess students with their critical thinking, teachers can evaluate the plot diagrams and comprehension questions made for the complementary texts. To make it more challenging, students could also answer short paragraph questions about the similarities and differences between tree and the text of your choice. For personal growth, students can write or draw their own key moments that have happened in their lives so far. This can be in the form of a paragraph or multiple drawings. This can extend to include what milestones they hope to achieve in the future. In my description, I've attached an optional short worksheet for students to organize their plot points and put them down on a plot diagram. It also includes a Venn diagram and quick comprehension questions for the short story. In conclusion, Tree is a short but touching game about life and death, making it a perfect game to learn about these abstract ideas for students ages 10 to about 14 years old. The game can help students think of themes, learn about plot, and make personal connections to their own lives. It would work best with a complementary text about life and death, ending with an assessment where teachers can evaluate students' critical thinking or personal reflections. Keep gaming and braining.